So what indeed is a flipped classroom? So I don't think I need this readiness assessment. When you are registering for this session, I assume you know it already. So it means we are actually putting what we want to do in classroom originally outside class, and then devote the time in classroom for learning activities so that we can ensure students are actually active when they are learning, right? But why do we flip? So when Leitch wrote that paper, they mentioned in year 2000, they mentioned actually the biggest drive for them to do this flipped or inverted classroom is that they feel like students have different learning styles. It's very difficult, especially in a large class, like cater the needs of each individual students. They cannot pause for one student. They have to take care of the whole class. So that's why. Then they leave the materials to students so that they can manage. They can manage in what pace, in what way they want to approach the learning materials. So actually that's the starting point where they started this. And also, flipped learning will give us, actually for the teachers, give us a time. Like instead of delivering content in classroom, we spend time, diagnose what's the learning gaps among students so that we can address that purposefully during the class time. So that's one of the top reasons that I found. Of course, according to literature, it will also support student active learning and student-centered learning. But having said that, I have to admit, I have searched in literature for the publications in recent 10 years. I haven't found really good evidence to say the effectiveness of this yet. Now, for example, the one I'm showing to you right now here is actually a cross-sectional study, which means there are different cohort of students. So the evidence we still have to think about because they are from different years. They are really different students. But from this test, of course, we can see the flip one actually really engage students a bit more. But of course, there will be challenges. One of the challenges that I mentioned was preparation, right? It's based on trust. We assume students will prepare. If they didn't, then it can be a disaster because we prepare a lot of activities in classroom while they don't have the basic knowledge they need in order to participate in the activity. That would be a major challenge. Now, let me show you the result I found, actually from one of the articles published in this context. It is a statistical course published in 2015. The students were 80 undergrad students from Denmark, and the pre-class instructional method was videos, giving students make videos. These are the percentage. These are the ranking of the reasons. Number one reason is they don't have time. So that's what they told the teacher. And the technical problems. And the video is just a repetition of the book. Then why don't you give the students this book instead of the videos? And the recording was boring. So probably it's more boring than lecture because in the lecture you can still talk to students, but in the video you can't do that actually. So another challenge might be the immediate interaction. So because you give materials to students, but actually you are away from them, you cannot have the immediate interaction with them.